You ever wake up one morning and realize you just stepped into a reality show you never signed up for? That was me right there in my own house, legally bought with years of sweat and ramen dinners standing on my deck with a mug of coffee, thinking the American dream was finally mine. I should have known it'd all go sideways when I got a letter official. HOA letterhead, the kind of paper that's so thick it could double as armor, signed by M. Thorne, board treasurer. Welcome, new resident, it said. Please prepare for our mandatory aesthetic inspection. All violations will be handled with the utmost severity. Yeah, that was my intro to Lake Ranch and the lovely world of Margaret Thorne. Let me paint the picture. Margaret didn't just stroll onto my property, she arrived. Picture a white SUV that costs more than my whole house, blocking my driveway so tight I couldn't have left if I tried. She steps out, Chanel bag, Gucci sunglasses, 6-inch Louis Vuitton heels, decked out like she's hosting the Met Gala on my lawn. And she's got this look, the kind you only get from decades of getting exactly what you want. Before I could even say good morning, she starts in with cute little house. How long have you been here? And the smile never reaches her eyes. I told her I'd just moved in. Everything was above board. But Margaret was already circling, snapping photos, making mental notes, checking the roof like she's prepping for an episode of HGTV. And then she drops the bomb, asks if I'd consider selling to her because her son Tyler needs a quiet place to pursue his artistic career. Now Tyler, bless his heart, comes shuffling around the corner in a Marvel shirt stained with who knows what, glued to his phone, muttering about daily login rewards. This is the guy who's supposed to inherit my house. Margaret keeps pushing like I'm just the placeholder until Tyler is ready to take over. And it's so wild I almost want to laugh, but you know what I mean? This woman isn't asking, she's telling me what's going to happen, like I'm already out, I just don't know it yet. After I refuse to sell, the mask slips. Margaret goes from fake sweet to cold, real quick, warning me that living here comes with certain standards, and it'd be a shame if there were complications. 3 days later, the violations start rolling in grass, half an inch too tall. Car parked 3 inches beyond the optimal line noise violation at 7 p.m. when I was literally making dinner. Orange cones show up in my driveway with road maintenance signs, except the city has no record of it. Margaret herself starts showing up in a yellow hard hat, safety vest, tape measure, and clipboard, acting like she's auditioning for a role in CSI Lawn Division, while Tyler follows, still playing his games, oblivious to the whole thing. It got to where neighbors wouldn't even meet my eyes anymore. Margaret camped out at the mailbox area, spreading her gospel about community standards, and suddenly my invitations to barbecues and pool parties dried up. I was isolated right where she wanted me. The only person who didn't freeze me out was Mr. Peterson, across the street, retired history teacher. Seen It All called me over one evening and just said, "Don't take it personal. Margaret's been this way since she moved in. It's about control, not the rules." He told me she'd run the HOA since day one, enforcing her interpretation of the rules, never about the neighborhood, always about her power. And then twist number 1, the city sends me a notice about unauthorized modifications based on an anonymous complaint. I freak out, call my agent, check every permit, all legit. Peterson tells me Margaret always gets what she wants. The question isn't what she's doing, it's why. I start digging, spending a whole Saturday running background on the Thorns. Turns out she's not just the treasurer, she's funneling HOA money into her husband's construction company, 50 grand for landscaping. Nobody's ever seen another chunk for pool upgrades. That never happened. I find invoices, records, all pointing to a slow-motion embezzlement scheme. That's when Peterson drops twist number 2. My house. 15 years ago, it belonged to Tyler's granddad, Charles Thorne's dad. He lost it to pay off gambling debts. Margaret's been obsessed ever since with restoring the family honor. That's why she's after me. In her mind, I'm a trespasser squatting on what should be her family's legacy. Suddenly, all her moves make sense. The intimidation, the violations, the smear campaign. I realize she's never going to stop. So I start playing her game. I document everything. her mailbox too close to the street, her garden fence wrong shade of beige. I mail her friendly reminders in the same tone she uses with me, paper trail and all. Peterson links me up with other neighbors. Turns out Margaret's been running families off for years, denying pool access, handing out arbitrary fines, the whole 9 yards. She ramps up files, more bogus complaints, stages edited footage at a meeting to make me look dangerous. Suddenly a vote's called to strip me of HOA rights, 8-3 against. She even files for a restraining order, but it doesn't stick. One night I'm packing to leave. Peterson finds me in the driveway, says, "You're the first one to fight back." I kept records, photos, audio receipts, used them. Suddenly I've got a folder of evidence, years in the making. I realize I'm not just fighting for me. I'm fighting for everyone she's bullied out. Margaret thinks she's won, throws a victory party in her head, but Tyler, God bless, only cares about the Wi-Fi at their house. Final showdown, police cars in my driveway. Margaret sobbing to the officers about her dangerous trespasser. Tyler's standing there still on his phone, and when they ask if he wants the house, he shrugs. The Wi-Fi's better at home and didn't. Grandpa lose this place in a poker game. I hand over my deed. Peterson shows up with the history, and Margaret, flushed out of options, screams about restoring the family name in front of the whole neighborhood, confessing to everything. The HOA calls an emergency meeting. I lay out all the evidence: embezzlement, fraud, fake invoices. Margaret is voted out, banned, forced to pay back the money referred for prosecution. Charles files for divorce. Tyler, somehow this is real, gets a job at the electronics store, finally starts growing up. The neighborhood starts healing people, come back out, the rules get sane again, and for the first time I can breathe. And Margaret, 6 months later, she comes back, different car, quieter, humbled. She stands at the property line and says, "I thought I was helping Tyler, but I never even asked what he wanted." She apologizes, actually apologizes. And as she drives away, Tyler gives me a little wave from the passenger seat. Later that night, he texts me, "Thanks for not giving up when Mom was being crazy. My new apartment has killer Wi-Fi." And that's the end, or maybe just the next beginning, because in a place like this, you never really know who's going to be the next Lake Ranch Karen. So now let's hear it. Ever dealt with a neighbor like this? Who is really in the wrong, and what does justice look like? In your book, drop a comment below. Let's get this HOA debate started.